Straightforward conversations. Get the story behind the headlines right here on The Newsmaker. Thank you for joining Newswatch Plus. I'm Tristan Odalo. Today's Newsmaker, we have Justice Undersecretary Raul Vasquez, Yusek Vasquez, now that former Congressman Zaldico is under Czech authorities, and we understand that the Department of Foreign Affairs is the lead agency handling this. But how is the Justice Department providing legal support?
Principally, Tristan, ang lead agency dito ay yung DFA. They're the ones who are closely coordinating with the Czech authorities. But our present administration, working under the whole government approach, we are all involved one way or the other. Yung DOJ naman, being the leading government agency in law enforcement, yan ay kasama kami, but mostly on the legal aspect. Kaya nga ho yung discussion din namin is essentially on an academic and legal aspect talaga ang aspetong to, kasi the details we cannot also discuss because of the respect that we must accord to the Czech authorities. Yun ang gusto nilang mangyari.
Earlier, President Bongbong Marcos mentioned a high-level coordination team. Who will be part of this group?
I think it would be yung mga principals mismo, no? It would be the secretaries. I suppose. I've heard that our secretary was asked to join. So I suppose that's the purpose of the trip.
In the absence of an extradition treaty, what options are available to the government to bring Ko back?
Actually, it's not precise na yung extradition is totally out of the picture. Yung reason kasi niyan, Tristan, is that both the Czech Republic and the Philippines are signatories to the UN Convention Against Corruption, yung UNCAC na tinatawag. And the UNCAC, among other obligations, mandate all signatory countries, all state parties, to cooperate and extend all assistance with respect to each other in the fight against corruption. This would include assistance with respect to the prosecution, investigation, arrest, even forfeiture of assets and transfer, plus the transfer of custody of the subject persons. Yun ang mga cooperation aspects, no, mode doon. Meron ng pati din yung mutual legal assistance, which is a broad concept that would cover any legal procedure that may impact with respect to the fight against corruption. So it doesn't really matter much if there is no bilateral extradition treaty, kasi both of them are bound by a multilateral UN-led convention against corruption. And yung second option naman would be yung deportation. The deportation is an available option also, legally speaking, given the fact na merong undocumented alien, no? Undocumented because apparently canceled yung passport and he was arrested because of that, it seems, no? And all these details kasi, Tristan, we are yet to confirm because of the fact that yung policy ng Czech Republic about that. So we have to give due respect and accord to the internal procedure, policies, and the priorities of the Czech Republic being an equally independent and sovereign state.
You've mentioned about the UN cooperation against corruption. How will this help in bringing the former lawmaker back, and how does this work?
Yeah, unilateral in a sense, but being responsible members of the world of nations, of the United Nations, it's also some kind of an obligation on them, on their part. Remember the case of Mary Jane Veloso, with Indonesia. We also didn't have any treaty for the transfer of sentenced persons. But because of international committee and the due courtesy that is extended between independent states, being members of the ASEAN and members of the United Nations, we were able to secure custody of Mary Jane Veloso. That template, I have to emphasize, Tristan, was followed by the DFA with respect to two other OFWs from Kuwait this time, who were also convicted by Kuwaiti courts, and they were serving sentences, their respective sentences, before inside the Kuwaiti jails. We were also able to get back custody of these two persons, these two OFW PDLs, and they're now serving their sentences here in our
You've
penitentiary.
mentioned about the Mary Jane Veloso case as a possible template, but what about the case of former Congressman Arnie Teves? Will the same approach can the same approach be also applied in the case of former Congressman Ko?
Yeah, in a way ganun din kasi eventually naging deportation din kay Congressman Tevez, for ex-Congressman Tevez. Initially it was deportation, but it was a very long process. But eventually when um, the Timor-Leste government realized that it may not be to their benefit to prolong the process more, and considering na they are supposed to be members, applying I think at that point as members of the ASEAN, they eventually gave custody. They surrendered custody of ex-Congressman Tevez back to the Philippines.
Yusek Vasquez, just for the public to understand, bakit po ba limitado ang impormasyong nakukuha natin mula nang maaresto si Congressman Ko?
We have to respect the processes, internal domestic processes of the Czech Republic. That's one thing that we have to abide by. At the same time, we are insisting also that they follow or they would consider strongly our pending request made through the DFA. And what you mentioned earlier, that there is a top level delegation that they are asking, that may be part of the process to effect the transfer of ex-Congressman Saldico.
Siguro po isa rin po sa magandang maunawaan yung privacy and confidentiality rules ng Czech authorities when it comes to handling detained foreign nationals. Especially po may mga online claims na nagsasabing sila mismo tumatawag sa Czech police and sinasabing walang naarestong congressman ko.
Right. Especially if privacy issues, confidentiality are the norms with respect to this to cases of this nature. That is strictly the prerogative of the Czech Republic. So nobody could second guess these matters, and the fact that somebody called up the immigration. Gaya natin, there are certain issues, there are certain proceedings here legally that are considered confidential. You can call the agencies or the courts 1,000 times, but you get the same result. No answer.
Is there a timeline for the return of the former congressman or will this solely depend on the response of the Czech authorities?
Depende yan sa desisyon ng Czech Republic at depende yan sa kanilang mga internal processes, procedures, and jurisdiction. Pero kung tutuusin mo, merong isang napakabilis na sistema. Kasi yung pinag-usapan natin normally na extradition at saka deportation, the normal or the usual presumption na iniisip natin is that this is a litigious matter. Sometimes it's not eh. It all depends upon the subject person also. May tinatawag na self-deportation. Ito kung by some providential assistance perhaps, ex-Congressman Saldico would realize that it may be better for him to face the music here and and prove his innocence before the courts instead of prolonging the issues further. He can just help himself self-deported back to the Philippines, for provided that he would do so intelligently and voluntarily. Self-deportation or self-repatriation ang tawag doon.
Now, I want to understand what are the legal options available for former Congressman Ko.
Well, actually, it all depends again on the internal rules of the Czech Republic. Take note kasi that the Czech Republic, it seems, was not the country where he first landed. So may mga jurisdictional, procedural, and legal requirements with respect to where you may be able to apply for asylum if you wish to do so, and that's for the procedural aspect. The second would be itong incidental fact. I think it is also one thing that is given. The fact that he was arrested already. So, given the fact na meron siyang arrest, that could complicate yung asylum application niya at this point. The third is the nature of the cases pending against him. Serious cases of graft and corrupt practices, corruption cases, no?
Okay.
So,
We found that
all of
the-
this, all of those issues essentially would complicate other options. But of course, it's up to him and his lawyers to consider the legal defenses that they may consider.
And just to clarify, he was arrested because of immigration law violations and not because of the Interpol notice that the Philippine government has previously requested.
Yeah, these are two different things kasi, Tristan. The arrest apparently was anchored on the fact that he is an undocumented alien when he entered because his passport has already been canceled. That is an immigration issue. With respect to the Interpol Red Notice naman, that is actually a procedure by which member states, member nations of the Interpol Convention are obliged to extend assistance amongst their respective law enforcement agencies for information sharing, verification of whereabouts, arrest, and the surrender or transfer of the person subject of the Interpol notice. So magkaibang aspeto yon. Yung Interpol notice kasi natin, it appears, as far as I know, it's still pending.
Yusek Vasquez, once he is returned to the Philippines, who will initially take custody?
Ganito, medyo merong a little complication, but at the end of the day, Sandigan Bayan ang magkakaroon ng legal custody sa kanya. It all depends, Tristan, kung anong proseso ang gagamitin ng Czech Republic. Kung immigration violation ang gagamitin at immigration authorities ang may hawak sa kanya at yan ang magta-turn over sa DFA natin, similar to the case of Alice Guo at saka sa kay Veloso, no, na naging immigration to immigration muna, and then for a short period of time pagdating dito hawak ng ating Bureau of Immigration lang, just to comply on the legalities. Once na turn over, magkaroon ng konting pag-comply sa proseso, even in the premises of the airport itself. Once that's done, may bigay na ngayon sa law enforcement agency, PNP for that matter, this time on the basis of the pending 3 warrants of arrest. Once na nahawakan naman ng PNP yan, dalhin na nila sa kanilang camp sa Krame for booking purposes. Booking in relation to the warrants of arrest. Once na book na siya, may dokumento na, then they would have to return the warrants. Yung return is the technical term where they would surrender the person plus the warrant of arrest. Pag na-return na yan, that's the time that the accused is now within the court's jurisdiction. Doon na magkakaroon ngayon ng yung authority ng court, ang Sandigan Bayan, to determine where he would be incarcerated or detained pending the trial.
Habol lang Yusek Vasquez, there are also reports claiming that former Congressman Ko has Portuguese passport. Will this have any impact or bearing sa kanyang legal proceedings na kinakaharap ngayon?
Alam mo, again, we have to verify whether or not he indeed was given a Portuguese passport. Based on available information kasi sa open source, no? Pag i-aralin mo yung Portugal Golden Visa, walang passport doon. Visa lang, which is equivalent to our permanent residency visa na tinatawag. Tinatatak lang yun, yung permanent residency visa, tinatatak sa passport mo. So, I would surmise na kung ganun ang sitwasyon niya, magkakaroon ng konting complication. Malaking complication actually. Dahil kung canceled na yung passport mo, saan mo makikita kayo yung Portugal Golden Visa kung canceled na yung dokumento?
Correct. Kaya
Ayos
wala
pa
po
din.
siya sigurong napakita because canceled na yung Philippine passport niya and doon din nakatatak if ganun nga po yung situation niya. Yung
Yes,
Portuguese
but we are
visa.
just surmising, Tristan, no? We cannot also hypothetically speaking yun dahil hindi natin alam yung entire circumstances because of the need for us to comply with the internal rules ng Czech Republic.
Sir, given the high-profile fugitive cases, is there a need for the Philippine government to review and expand extradition treaties with other countries?
That's a very good question. Actually, dahil sa experience natin sa Mary Jane Baloso at saka sa yung dalawang OFWs na nakulong sa Kuwait, there are really existing negotiations for the execution of treaties for the transfer of sentenced persons. I suppose that will also be the logical next step that may be considered sa mga extradition matters na yan. Kasi nagkataon lang kasi na merong UNCAC na United Nations Convention on Against Corruption that granted some kind of a comprehensive legal remedies with respect to the fight against corruption. Pero corruption lang yun. Paano pag nag-commit siya ng ibang crime? Hindi mo magagamit yun. So it becomes imperative, I would say, that is my personal opinion, it becomes imperative that seriously there should be a consideration of entering into additional extradition treaties with other countries.
Thank you so much for sharing your time and for this interview, Justice Undersecretary Raul Vasquez.
Pleasure is actually mine, Tristan.
And we will continue to deliver just the facts and the news you need. Until our next Newsmaker, I'm Tristan Nodalo.